What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this woman is going to get herself sued again. Like, I'm not kidding. She just went back on TV and repeated the exact same defamatory claims about JD that got her sued and lost, facing total global humiliation by her own words. She just went on TV and repeated all these same lies. In the very same interview, she even said, "Oh, I don't know, I'm really afraid of more defamation lawsuits from him." And then she just goes on and opens her mouth and repeats the exact same thing. Now, I've been on record as saying I understand why maybe he might want to give her a break and not make her pay this money, but after this interview, I'm absolutely collecting every penny. I just don't think that there's any reason to let her off the hook now. She's not going to stop lying about you. And you can let her spend every penny she has trying to go and appeal this, and she's going to lose that as well. Maybe she'll be looking for some new level of sponsorships, but I'm not sharing mine with awesome channel sponsor, Sheath. Check this out. Huge shout out to this video's sponsor. That's right, Sheath. These boxers are designed to keep your balls off your legs. Sheath has 3 individual compartments to keep everything down there separate and cool and comfortable. And hey, since they've been a long-time sponsor, I've heard from many of you who have tried out Sheath and really love it. They were invented by a U.S. Army soldier who came up with the idea for Sheath during his second tour in Iraq, where it was hot as heck and his boys needed to breathe. And on top of all sorts of awesome designs for Sheath, they've added all sorts of winter items, hoodies, gator necks, and all sorts of base layers. Head on over to the link in the description and pinned comment down below. Use my promo code to save and support the channel and keep everything nice, cool, and dry. I know it's like weird to think about trying out new undergarments, especially if you're a dude, but like, give them a try. You've got so little to lose and a ton to gain. Everyone that's tried them has told me that they're super comfortable and they really like them, and they've been a strong channel sponsor, so give them a try. Now, in this Savannah Guthrie interview, which keeps rolling out more and more and more, in the interest of transparency, Josie Enzer writes, it's worth noting that Savannah Guthrie's husband is the PR consultant for JD's legal team. Isn't that interesting? Quote, "The First Amendment does not protect lies that amount to defamation, AH. It's a freedom to speak truth to power." Savannah Guthrie, "But truth is the word, and that was the issue, AH. That's all I spoke, and I spoke it to power, and I paid the price." I'm not exactly sure what truth to power is. If you're saying that JD was power, there's a jury power in this. You used a mainstream media outlet, the Washington Post, to defame and try and ruin the career of your ex-husband because you were salty ex. That's not speaking truth to power. That's being vindictive. Now she writes, she fears further defamation lawsuits from JD. Well, then why are you out there repeating the same defamatory statements? You can see this article I talked about a little earlier. She brands rumors insensitive and saying hours after she repeated the defamatory claims on the Today Show that JD raised his hand to her. Like, are you kidding? Like, okay, so she said she still fears she could face further lawsuits from her former husband if she continues to speak out about their relationship following their high-profile trial. Look, if you lose a trial, you said in this trial, hey, this guy raised his hands to me, it was awful. By the way, if that had been true, that's absolutely terrible in every way, shape, and form, right? Unacceptable for either end of a spousal, anybody to really raise their hands, anybody, right? Speaking with Savannah Guthrie, in her first interview since the jury found that she had indeed defamed him, she said she felt scared to speak out. Quote, asked if she felt nervous about what she can say following the trial's outcome, she said, "Of course. I took for granted what I assumed was my right to speak. You have a right to speak, but if you use that right to speak defamatory lies about somebody, defamatory lies that have a very easily traceable financial impact on their life, that's defamation. And you get sued for that. What's the left always say? You have freedom of speech, but not freedom from consequences. Nobody said she couldn't say that. I'm scared that no matter what I do, no matter what I say or how I say it, every step that I will take will present another opportunity for this sort of, quote, silencing, which is what I guess a defamation lawsuit is meant to do, and said that after being asked whether she feared she could be sued by him again, she wrote, it's meant to take your voice. No, it isn't. Again, if I'm JD and I'm seeing these interviews, I'm enraged. You know, like, you just took every penny this person had over these same lies, and she's learned nothing. Look, when I was going through a lawsuit with a lunatic, in my opinion, who was 100% in the wrong, was going to lose the lawsuit entirely, I found out that they had no money, and then I was going to take the last few dollars that they had. And I felt bad for them, even though, in my opinion, they tried to cause great bodily harm to me, and could have, had I not had people around me in that moment. I didn't want to take the dude's last $3,000 that he had in the bank or whatever it was. I don't know. It wasn't, you know, I felt like I was going to take everything he had. He already had so little. You know, what was the point? Now, with JD, it's kind of similar, right? You get this huge judgment, and it's like, even if I don't take this money, she doesn't have much going her way. But now, like, if this dude that I was involved in a lawsuit with had been out there, like, after the fact, like, you know, running his mouth and talking about, oh, you know, I'd do it again, or if they had done it again or whatever, there's no chance I'm taking any mercy. Like, I'm taking everything. So, by the way, teams of lawyers had reviewed the op-ed drafts. Obviously knew it was important for me to not make it about him, she said, or do anything to defame him. She said that she had, quote, teams of lawyers review all the drafts of the op-ed. Well, it sounds like you probably have a nice lawsuit against them. Reminded of how she said she still had love for Johnny during her initial trial. She said that the sentiment had not changed. Okay. Odd. I don't, you know, this is going to get somebody, she's going to get sued again. I would be shocked if his law firm hadn't already sent some form of communication to her legal team to say, like, this girl better zip it. And again, she can say, oh, I hate him. She can say, you know, he was a terrible husband, or he never pleased me in the sack, or whatever. She can say whatever this kind of stuff she wants. But when you start talking about him raising his hands to her and how it, you know, it took his entire career away from him, you can't do that. I mean, the idea that you don't have any bad feelings or ill will towards him, that feels like a lie as well. It's like her pretending to be the bigger person, because why are you out there repeating the exact same defamatory statements? Like, the exact same defamatory statements. You've got 4.6 million people on a petition to have you removed from the movie. I'm not exactly sure I'd be out here antagonizing everybody. Again, I don't think you shouldn't have, you know, the right to speak or to share the truth, right? But nobody buys it. You can see all the replies, you know. She's sunk to a new low. She faces furious backlash online for repeating the claims against him. Twitter users unleashed a furious tirade on AH after she sat down for an interview with Today's Show, and she discussed the unfair verdict in her trial, which she's allowed to say or feel. Calling the interview, quote, painful to watch, and claiming that they've heard enough of her sickening lies. These are viewers. During the shocking new interview, the actress insisted that she's going to stand by every word of her testimony until the day she passes, less than 2 weeks after she was found guilty of defaming her ex, that, you know, by those very same statements. The 36-year-old blasted JD as a liar and reiterated her claims that he raised their hands to her during their marriage, while speaking to the Today host Savannah Guthrie. A lot of the replies, the pauses, the sighs, same old acting. Even here, I can't believe her. I'm sorry. Every time she opens her mouth, never takes any accountability. She should really be given a platform. Should she really be given a platform to continue lying? Now the Aquaman star is facing fierce backlash from social media users, with one accusing her of acting throughout the entire appearance. Yeah, I mean, I would say, you know, I don't think nobody believes her, Savannah. Give it up and stop interviewing people who put their hands on their partners. Responded one disgruntled Twitter user, shame on you. Women do tell lies. They are not always truthful. And this one got caught. Her reputation is done. Yeah, I mean, I would argue, why the heck are you allowing the aggressor in this situation? It's shameful, it really is. Well, all this does is continue to highlight, the disparity between men who are on the receiving end of bad behavior from their partners and women. She's allowed to go on the Today Show and continue to spread the lies that took every penny she had, and the media supports it. I don't think JD has done a single interview. Now, I'm sure that's probably his choice, but I think it's pretty clear that the Today Show would not be having him on, because they were just fine running with the defamatory claims 2 years ago when they canceled the guy for it and just assumed everything was 100% true. I hope that he does serve her with yet another injunction, or that his lawyers send her a comment. Like, you can't go on TV and repeat the same lies that you now were proven legally to be baloney. Maybe don't take private jets too. It's hard to feel bad for you when you're taking a private jet all the time. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure, if you get a chance, to check out important channel sponsor Sheath. We'll talk to you again real soon.